Smoked shoulder starts with, you guessed it, a bone out lamb shoulder, 4 pounds in weight approximately. And what I don't like is they put this silly netting around the lamb, and whenever you season it properly, cook it, the entire seasoning comes out. So I take the string out and make sure it keeps its same form. For the rub, I'm going to be starting out with some coarse kosher salt. And since this is a Moroccan dish, I'll be using harissa. This is a spice mix from Morocco, usually combining of different chilies and other spices in there. I'll be also using a black pepper that I like to grind myself. Besides the pepper, I'm also going to be using some cinnamon, which I really like with lamb. And I'm going to be using coriander seeds. I like to get the whole seeds and toast them first, and then I'm able to grind them myself. Also, to get some herbaceous flavor, I'm using some fresh rosemary. And of course, garlic. Can't go wrong with garlic. And like I said, to start, I'm going to be toasting the coriander seeds. I use about 5 tablespoons in this rub, and you can see the seeds are big, they're fruity, they're fragrant. And now it's time to light up the big green egg. Lighting the big green egg, since I'm smoking today, I'm using the big green egg charcoal at the bottom, and then I'm using a cherry wood on top of that. After I lay down the wood, I like to pour some excess charcoal on top of that, and this will help to kind of get the fire lit by lighting up that charcoal on top. What I like to do when lighting the big green egg is I use little lighting cubes. I like to use all natural cubes so there's no additives, lighter fluid, anything crazy like that. So once I've spread out the charcoal kind of all over the place, I'm ready to put the lighting cubes in there and get started with the fire. So I've lit the fire, and as you can see, the 3 cubes are now burning, and now it's time to get working on my lamb rub. So my rub is going to start with the kosher salt. I like to start with the salt separately and just liberally put it all over the meat. And when I say liberally, I mean don't be shy, because it's a big chunk of meat and it needs some salt all over the top of it, because the middle of it is not going to be salty at all. So you want to make sure the crust is really covered in salt, and that way when you chop apart the meat at the end, you'll have some bits that are a little more salty and some that aren't very salty at all. So you can see, just sprinkle, 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 flip over, sprinkle, 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 and then after that I'm going to cut big cuts into the meat so the rub can penetrate through the surface. So right here I've scored the meat, and then I start adding the rub to it. It's very much a thick paste at this point. I like to use kind of a nice thick paste so the rub sticks onto the meat, and you can see I'm putting it on both sides, making sure the entire surface area is covered with the rub. As far as how much of each spice to put in the rub, it kind of depends how big the meat is. For this rub, I used 5 tablespoons of coriander, about 3 tablespoons of the harissa powder, probably about a tablespoon of rosemary and garlic. And then you can see I tied it up with string just to make sure it sticks together. And here's a beautiful view of my backyard, as well as my favorite new toy, my big green egg, which is now getting up to temperature. So this is the Ultra Q. It is sold by Barbecue Guru. You can find them at barbecueguru.com. And basically what it is a system to keep the temperature on the big green egg or any other device. It uses a fan that you put at the bottom there, and the fan, once it attaches, it regulates the temperature inside the big green egg. You can see there's a little alligator clip that's attached to the grate, and that's how you can tell what the temperature is. And also it comes with 2 probes, that one is for the meat, and the other one, like I said, is the alligator clip that goes in there. You could also add an extra 2 probes if you're doing a bigger cook. So there is the temperature display inside the grill. Over here it connects to an extension cord that plugs right into the wall. There's a dog doing something ridiculous under the table, and there's the lamb waiting to be cooked. So here the fan is actually set up inside the Barbecue Guru, and this is the app that I use in order to track the temperature inside the pit as well as the temperature of the food. You can see right there, you can add multiple controllers to the Barbecue Guru. And here's the main screen, and you can see the temperature is 83 degrees inside there, and the temperature of the meat is at 44 degrees. I just put it in right now, so it's just starting to kind of cook up to temperature. There on that screen, you can set the different temperature of your pit probe. If you want to get it to 250, 230, 280, whatever you want, the fan will actually make this happen. Again, you can find this at barbecueguru.com, and it's a great device that I definitely recommend. And this is a shot of me sitting at the pool while my lamb shoulder happily cooks on the smoker. So the lamb has been smoking for about 3 hours. It's up to about 161 degrees. You can see on my pit, I set the target to 260. It's about 255, and my food temperature is 185, and it's at 160. Here is the pomegranate molasses I made, and the best way to find out how to do this is just look at Alton Brown's recipe for pomegranate molasses, and it turns out to be amazingly wonderful. And just brush it all over the lamb and keep doing that in every 15 minutes or so. So as the lamb is sizzling away, I like to keep adding the pomegranate molasses, and you make sure to tie it up with string, or else the lamb is definitely going to split apart. And here I've taken the lamb out of the smoker, and it's ready to be served. I like to chop it up into big chunks and serve it as this, or on a roll, or in a pita with some tzatziki sauce. Fresh lemon is served on the side, which you can then kind of squirt over the lamb, and it makes it even more delicious. Thanks for watching, and please subscribe and like the video, and also visit barbecueguru.com to find the Ultra Q and many other wonderful devices. Thank you so much. Have a great day.